Hello everybody. For anybody who's joined already, I just found another lion. Look at that. This is a model park, but it's closed for the season. But hiding in there, I don't know if you can see him. Anyone who's already here, there's another lion for those who've been watching and those who've been playing along. Hi Catherine, how you going? So there we go, there's one more lion inside the model park, which is actually closed for the season. We did find another one as well. We found another one, where was it? Sort of outside the old start, on the way to Aldi, along the main road. All right, so let's turn the camera around. Looks like it's just you and me at the moment, Catherine. How are you? So we're down on the riverfront. We're just going to take a leisurely walk along the edge of the river and might finish up, see how we're going, might finish up at a bit of an engineering oddity which solved a problem for the town way back in the day. And excuse my perpetual frog in the throat. Gosh, it's really been hanging around. Hi Dawn, how are you? Great to see you. Okay, so we're at the base of the hill. Let me see. Yeah, I'll turn this around again. This is our last full day in Germany, just by the way. Let's turn this around. And up there is where we've been walking along the edge of the street that goes around the top. So we saw two of the lions up in that area there. And there's some teepees. I don't know what the teepees are for. I think Richard might have gone to investigate, so maybe he'll have some answers for us when he gets back and joins us. It's not foggy, but it is very grey. It's 3:30 in the afternoon here, Dawn. So what is it where you are? It's 2:30. Dawn and Catherine. 2:30 I think for you guys, isn't it? But it's just very grey. I just noticed a little bird's nest up there. Because we don't have deciduous trees in Australia very much, like most of our trees are evergreen, we don't kind of get to see the same birds' nests, which I know might be an odd observation, but for me to see a bird's nest is a little bit of a thrill. So we're going to 2:30. Yeah, I thought so. It's quite squishy ground here, very mossy. We're going to cross the river on this bridge here. There's a footbridge there, and then we'll walk along. I think there's some, from what we can see from where we are staying in the old town, there seem to be some rather big mansion style waterfront houses along here. But it was brighter this morning. I went for a walk this morning and there was actually patches of blue sky. It was rather lovely. Nice little change. Dark and dingy in the north too. What time does the sun set in the north where you are, Dawn? Okay, so what we're looking at here this is the map of the town. Standort is where we are standing right now. You can see where it says Schlossgarten. That's where I took you through that grove of trees beside the castle. And you can see where the river does the big loop around the town. So we are here. We're going to walk around to about here. So only actually halfway round. We'll cross the river again at that point. And then along the edge of the river, this is the River Lahn. It's around about 250 kilometres long. We're about halfway along the river between its source to the north of here and where it joins the Rhine River down at Karlsruhe, I think. Just seeing things floating down the river. I'm going to go and investigate what that is. All right, so we'll pass through this bridge here. And what does it actually say? I think it said something about 1708. So That might have been when the first crossing was, but I think the steel bridge that we're walking across now came later. I don't know what that is floating down the river there. Don't know what that is at all. Looks like rubbish, which is a bit of a pity, whatever that is. That's not good. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyway, any idea what that stuff is floating down?
Some rubbish foam.
Yeah, it looks like foam, doesn't it? So this is looking down the river towards towards where it joins the Rhine, and up the river is in this direction here. And as you can see, there's one of those lovely old houses that I was curious to go and see closer. So we're going to have a look at that in a second. Hi to everyone who's joined. I can see that there's 8 people on, but there's only 2 in the chat. So if you're feeling brave, give me a thumbs up, give me a wave. Let me know who's here so I can welcome you and say hi. So as I was saying, this is our last day in Germany. We fly out tomorrow. So tomorrow we have a big train ride down to Frankfurt, then out to the airport, and then we're going to hang around there for hours and hours and hours before we catch our flight to Dublin and start of our journey home. So this is where we were investigating the other day. 3:30 dawn in the UK right now, sunset. That's early, isn't it? So this is the part of the Lahn River. There's actually a feeder road that we went up the other day and investigated. So that was an access road I discovered later. We walked up that hill there. It was quite steep, went right up to the top and over to a lookout point over in that direction. And I decided it was too steep. It's left us huffing and puffing. But then when we looked at this trail, it was cut by floodwater. So walking along the trail at this point was not possible. So that's why we decided to go in this direction instead. Alrighty. And every so often we'll just hop. Oh, nearly went for 6. It's a big slippery and muddy on that side of the path. Yeah, look, that's what I nearly went for it in. You got to watch where you're walking around here. So every now and again we'll look back up at the town and see what how the town looks from each vantage point along the way. And at the same time we'll be watching where we put our feet. And constantly be on the lookout for nice reflection shots that don't have a lot of trees in the way like they do right here. Dawn says, it's unbelievable that a year has passed already. It's quite sad you're nearly home. I've loved your adventures. Thanks, Dawn. Yeah, I've loved having you guys with me as well. It's not only been a way for us to record what we're doing, because it's very easy just to sort of go with the flow and take every day as it comes. And then you look back later and you go, oh, I wish we had recorded some of that. So this is a good way for us to record it for ourselves, but I just love to share as well. So I've loved having you guys with me. But that's not to say that when we get back home, we won't go back to what we were doing before we left and showing you what's wonderful about Australia. And Catherine, I'm just trying to position my camera so that I can see your comment. No visa drama this time, hopefully. Well, hopefully being the key word. Yes, by my reckoning, I'm maybe a day or two outside my visa allotted time. But they assured me, those guys at the airport assured me, they said, no, you're fine. So let's just hope that they weren't the cleaners dressed up as immigration guys. Yeah, Richard says he'll be okay, he'll be fine. So stay tuned, I guess. I've got all my fingers crossed and hoping that they are true to their word and that I really do have nothing to worry about. You won't read about me in the newspapers later. All right, so this is quite lovely. It would be a lovely spot to be in the summer, wouldn't it? Overlooking the river and looking towards the old town in this direction here. And yeah, it's a lovely town. I've really enjoyed staying here. We had no idea what to expect when we came here because we knew it was a small town, small and out of the way. Look, there's like a secret little...
Yeah, into the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a bunker? It's something odd. Something odd and strange in there. I wonder where it goes. Maybe it's just like, the waterboard or something. But yeah, it's a bit strange. It's a quiet town, really well preserved, really pretty. And it was a lovely place just to sort of, cool our heels for the last 2 weeks in Europe before moving on. This is the one that I'm curious about. Look at it, it just looks amazing. You should do a live from the airport. Dawn, I have been thinking about that. So, okay, I have about 25 minutes of footage that I took at the zoo the other day after my camera lost the plot. I was going to say something rude, but I won't. So when my camera completely let me down the other day, I took about 25 minutes of footage after that. And it's just rendering now. So it's on my computer back at the apartment, processing right now. Something else floating down the river there. And yeah, what is this? It looks like a car tyre or something, a wheel of some sort. So I was thinking about doing something from the airport. The problem is you never know how good your signal's going to be, what the airport Wi-Fi is going to be like. Oh, look at that, up in the tree there.
It's cool, mate.
Oh, he's just shaking his tail feather. It's a big one, isn't it? He must have been for a fish. So yes, I am considering doing that. I was thinking about doing the zoo footage from the airport as a kind of at-home style tomorrow, because I haven't scheduled a Where Am I Wednesday, and of course tomorrow's Wednesday. And it's really just because of the whole unknown aspect of it, in terms of, well, we know we need to be at the gate by about 7 o'clock tomorrow night, so I've got plenty of time. And we've got to be out of our accommodation here by 11:30, so we'll be, busing and training and travelling for a couple of hours. But I think we'll be at the airport by about 3 o'clock. So there's just an element of uncertainty about the whole thing, and that's the reason why I haven't scheduled anything. So this is, what's this here? Looks like a big hotel. Oh, that's the big hotel that's got the line out the front, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the, I forget what it's called.
HNER.
Some small birds in this tree here flitting around. It is so peaceful here, Dawn. It's so peaceful. And then look at the roofs. Just love these pointy roofs that they all seem to go for. Princess turrets. And this one has kind of like a modern addition attached to the side of it. It says Anno 1888. So it's a fairly recent one. Yeah, it's a fairly new one. by European standards. Let me just sort out my microphone muffle. It's a little bit breezy. Sorry if you get a crackle. Okay. So what we're going to do tonight is we'll have a beer in the place that we've been frequenting, and we'll have another beer at the place where our host runs his restaurant, so that we can say goodbye to him. He's been lovely, very helpful. We'll have dinner at home, use up all the food that's in our fridge. This one's pretty, isn't it? Look at that. Dawn says, I love hearing the gentle flow of a river. Reminds me of holidays with my gran as a child. Oh, it's always so soothing, isn't it? That's really pretty. I have no idea what this place is down here. We kind of didn't get to the lower level. We stayed up top mostly until it was time to catch the bus into... There's a bunch of these cormorants up here. It's like the cormorant hangout. There's what, 3, I think I saw one on the other side. Yeah, 4 up in this tree. Yeah, this must be a good sign that the river is healthy, I guess. I just get past this tree and there's one with its wings out over that side. Alright, I've got another little signal message, so we'll keep moving. You would think in Europe you shouldn't get signal issues, should you? Like, really, you shouldn't. Something I used to complain about all the time in Australia was the terrible signal. And I thought, when we get to Europe, the signal's going to be fantastic. I'm not going to have those problems. Anyway, especially since it was an Australian company that invented Wi-Fi, for heaven's sake. I don't know how many of you knew that. An Australian was the one who invented Wi-Fi. Not in its entirety. I think they took the technology for, was it radar? Something like that? I can't remember exactly. And just improved on it until they came up with Wi-Fi. And an Australian also invented the polymer banknote. All right, so here's the castle. We're approaching the weir, so we'll start to hear that water running noise a little bit more loudly as we get closer. I'm going to run into a dead end here if I'm not careful. Can I squeeze past there? Maybe. Might be a bit slippery, wet leaves on the ground. Okay. I'm going to walk in the road. It's much, much easier. You can get a great signal from Machu Picchu. That's good to know, Dawn. I'm not sure when I'll be getting there. I wish I could convince those guides to go live from there. I've sort of got so close. You know, I get them on board, they give me their email address, I give them the training, and then it doesn't progress from there. All right, here we are. This is a great spot. Look at this. So there's the castle. I've got another signal warning, guys, so just be aware. There's the old stone bridge and the weir. You can probably hear it in behind it. I'm going to keep moving because of this signal warning. It's a shame this building is here. I think should have been built a little bit further away from from the river, or there should have been some guidelines as to the design of it. I don't think it fits. Anyway, who am I to say? Picture's okay? Great, thanks Dawn. Alright, just looking back along the river now. Look at this. This is really pretty. And we'll do a little pan. Modern eyesore, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think it's terrible. Anyway, and there's the castle. It looks completely different from down here, doesn't it? The Schloss. The Weilburg Schloss. Well, okay, if you're going to give me an ugly thing like this, you better give me a nice reflection. There we go. Let's see how creative we can get. Ah, look at that. Almost. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I think we did it. I think we got it. Beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to walk past this bridge and head on to the next bridge, because I don't think you can walk along the lower level below the castle. I don't think there's a path there. And we're heading towards the engineering oddity I told you about. But these are those two buildings I showed you the other night that I think are like toll houses, toll keepers' houses or something like that. I don't even know what this building is. Is it a library? It's next to these two, which are lovely. I mean, I don't hate modern architecture. I just think there's a time and a place for it. Sometimes it just does not fit in. And I think this is one of those times. Okay, clear. Yep. Go down or up? Down. Okay, oh, this is a fantastic spot. I wonder if the lights come on at night. Look at this, guys. There's a light on the Schloss Hotel. I think we discovered that the other day, didn't we? Here's the bridge. A nice view of that cluster of buildings over there. And the weir. And the Schloss. Alright, there's your photo opportunity. Or as Francis used to say, picture, picture. Okay, we're heading down to the beach. Is everyone ready? It is warmer today. I will say that much. It is warmer today. Like a postcard. It is, isn't it? Look at that. Beautiful. And I'm just going to slowly move along back towards that cluster of buildings and the bridge. And you can see from this point there's a whole row of houses along the top of the hill as well. There we go. So who reckons we should send Richard down later and see if the lights come on the castle? We'll give him a mission to take photos at night. Okay, we're not going to go down to the beach. It's just a little patch of sand down there. I do want to swap hands though. Give me a second. My gimbal hand was starting to get tired, starting to get sore. So we have been up there. We have looked down on the river from that point up there. We have, Bridget's found a soccer ball. Hang on. Can't leave him alone for 2 seconds, can you? Right, let's keep going. This looks cool. I wonder if they have fights for this seat during summer. Football hooligan. Yes. So yes, this is Little Niece, they call this. Here, look. I will not pass judgment on it. Of course, being an Australian, my idea of a beach is a little bit different to that. But anyway, that's all right. Who am I to judge? So I'm just trying to see from here if there is a path across there. I don't think there is. Pretty sure there's not. And there's the Schlosskirche. It's right next door to where we're staying. And you can just see the tops of those manicured trees that form the... We met a lady yesterday who told us what it's called in Italian. The Bosco something or other. What was it? Do you remember? She said what that forest, that wooded area is called. As in, it is a European garden feature. All right. And then down here we have Strandgut. Strand is beach, I know that much. So this is where you get your refreshments when you come to the beach. We have seen so many of these bike charging stations. For such a small town, these are scattered all over the place. I think it's fantastic. And there we go, Strandgut. Beach bar, beer garden.
Good is good.
Yeah.
Good beach.
Good beach. And there's a couple of little community gardens down here as well. Can we get up from here? Do you know where we're going? Or do we have to go up there? No, up this way. Alrighty. Do people swim in the river here? Apparently so, Dawn. Yep. And fishing as well. And canoeing.
Well,
It's a pity that top of the marquee is in the way now, but let's see if I can visually crop it. Alright, it's going to be a little bit noisy while we cross the bridge, but it's not very far. And what I've basically done is I've brought you around in a circle. If you recall, I showed you that elevator over there in the middle where the traffic lights are. That's the way to get up to the old town from this level. And then over here to the left is where the train station is. So it won't be very far. We'll just cross the road here, I think. And looking down from here, it looks like there's some sort of a boating club, perhaps, right beneath the castle. And then there's lots and lots and lots of canoes. So it's obviously a big demand for canoeing at this spot. There's also lots of geese over there, white ones. All right, so we're just waiting for the lights to change. Okay. This is the indoor swimming centre, the aquatic centre. Lahn, Lahn being the river, Bad meaning baths, pool, and Ober, oh well, that's above the Lahn, I guess, above the river. Yeah, it's groovy colour in there too, look. Cosmic lighting. Now that structure over there, I'll see how we're going for time. That is the entrance to the train tunnel. So next to an old, I think it's not in use at the moment, hotel, is the entrance. That crenellated gate looking structure is the entrance to the train tunnel. And there's a whole lot of underground parking here, so you can park outside of town and then walk via the elevator in that glass tower up to the old town. Now what we're looking at there, where you can see the entrance just there, that's the entrance to the tunnel. So it's a shipping tunnel, and that was the solution to navigating the river, because the two weirs make navigation of the river impossible. In the early 1800s they excavated a tunnel at the narrowest point where the spur that the old town is situated on meets the rest of the land, for want of a better term. So they started building it because upriver from here, with the country was starting to become industrialised. The Nassau government decided to excavate the tunnel And they started to do that in the early 1800s. I'm just showing you the reflection here with the arch of the bridge. They started to do that in the early 1800s, but it took so long to sort of, design it and get approvals for it and actually get underway that by the time it was completed, it was no longer in use 10 years later because the train tunnel went through and effectively removed the need for it. So now it's just used for recreational purposes. We can kind of see the arch at the entrance of the tunnel just where the road curves here. So it's 200 metres long. It was built in 1838. Yeah, here, so we have a road tunnel, a shipping tunnel and a train tunnel, all in one spot here. It's the longest and oldest still navigable shipping tunnel in Germany. I don't know how many others there are. Could be the only one for all I know. But here we go, we're about to go and actually see it. Don't really get a sense of it from here, other than there's an entrance to it. And I can't really get down there. So, but what we can see more of it from here. Here we go. Okay, so Greg says, hi Greg, how are you? Gregory says, Strand is beach. That'll work nicely for you over in Ireland too. Ask for the way to the Strand if you want to get to the beach, and they may take you for being natives if you find someone Irish to ask. Oh, that's interesting to know. Thanks, Gregory. We're actually staying with an Irish family for 3 nights, so yeah. So this is the tunnel. Look at that. I'm not going to send Richard down these stairs because they are very slippery. I mean, we could, but I think it's a bit dangerous. We won't send him down there. Should we send you down there? He's shaking his head. No. And I don't think you can see very far into the tunnel anyway. And I'm getting another transmission signal warning. But look at the colour of the moss on this wall, will you? Look at that. Okay, so we are going to... Wait a second, there's a car there. All right, one last view from here, and then we'll cross the road. So there we go. That's the shipping tunnel. And Lynn says, hi everyone. I have been watching. Hang on a second, Richard. Wait a sec. I have been watching but not listening this morning. Looking forward to watching the recording. Thanks, Lynn, for another fascinating tour. You're very welcome, Lynn. Thank you for coming along, and I hope you enjoy the replay. We're just going to cross the road while it's safe to do so. And here is the entrance to the shipping tunnel here. Now I'm going to find a really nice spot to get a lovely reflection with this bridge and the castle both in view. Hang on, let me sort out this microphone again. And then we'll go up and have a look at the railway tunnel. But just down here there's a spot. I got a gorgeous photo here this morning. Okay, so we've got the castle and the church and the arch. And we should be able to get them all in the reflection as well if I find the right spot. Just about here. And if we zoom in a little bit as well, there we go. Here's the pool, the Schwimmbad, And then over here is a footbridge and the train bridge. So we're going to go and have a look. We'll go and walk up onto the train bridge and I'll show you the entrance to the railway tunnel. Okay, so as I said, this is probably our last tour from Germany, unless I manage to bring you something from the airport tomorrow, but I can't promise anything. Just don't know how that's going to go, what the signal's going to be like, where I'll be able to sit, whether it's going to be, you know, a reasonably, well, it's never going to be quiet, but maybe free of too much noise area to sit in. Airports can be notoriously echoey. So this place looks empty. Hotel Lahn River. I think Richard should be able to help me with this. I think Blick kind of means a viewpoint. I've just got another signal warning. Okay, so come over here. There we go, there's the entrance to the train tunnel. We saw the entrance to the shipping tunnel and the entrance to the road tunnel. And they're all here in this one spot. Let's walk out into the middle of the bridge here, the footbridge. We haven't quite figured out if this is where the train terminates or what it does here. It's only a little 2-carriage train that's sitting there right now, but I've never seen one go into the tunnel, so I don't know how often that happens. Yeah, maybe you go in there, Dawn, and you end up in another universe, another reality. All right, so there we go. There's Weilburg. So, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy our stay in Weilburg? We did. There. This is so quirky. We can see from here that the path continues on down in that direction. We never got a chance to try that. All right, I think we will finish up here. We're going to catch the elevator back up to the top and go and say our farewells around town. I'm glad. Lynn, thanks Catherine. Love seeing Germany. That's great. Okay, let's turn the camera around. And, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. Alrighty. So we're hoping that within about a week we'll be able to give away these green accessories like Richard's wearing right now. And I'm not. It's actually quite warm. It's comparatively warm today. So I'm without my green ear warmer. No, don't put that on. Should I raffle it? Does anyone want a really badly made crocheted green hat? I'll raffle it off. Thanks everyone. I've really enjoyed having you all. Richard's blending in wonderfully. So your neutral tones are blending into the background. Yeah. So we are off to Dublin tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can manage to squeeze in a tour in Dublin. I don't know. What's going to happen there because we're staying with a family where someone has to work one day and we're not sure what they're going to do the other day and all of that sort of thing. But if there's a way that I can share some of Dublin with you, I will. Or in actual fact, they're an hour out of Dublin. So they're in the countryside, which I expect should be really pretty. And we're really looking forward to it, but I'm not sure what I'll be able to do there. Maybe I'll just do a recording of something. We'll see how it goes. And then after that, we're off to Sonoma to spend Christmas with my brothers. So again, I know that there's a Julian Mark exhibition installation in San Francisco. So I've asked my brother if we can possibly see that. So various things that I really want to do, but it's a case of, you know, imposing on people's time and willingness to take us to places which may or may not happen. All right, everyone, we're going to finish up here. We'll toast you. We'll toast you from the pub. So see you all when I see you next. Bye for now. Yes, Dawn, we're meeting up with Annette after I met up with my brother.